Hey yo, I don't know if y'all saw it, but Timberland put out a special edition boot to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Biggie Smalls' Ready to Die. It's a dope campaign. Y'all already know. Let's talk about it. Hey, what up, y'all? Back again with another episode of Beats and Billboards. And like I said, man, for the 30th anniversary of Biggie Smalls' debut album, Ready to Die, the estate partnered with Timberland to release a custom shoe, and it's pretty dope. So, for those of y'all who don't know, Biggie used to wear Timberlands all the time. If you go on Google and look up a picture of Biggie, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to see him in some Timbs because that was New York fashion back in the 90s. Little fun fact for y'all that don't know, back in the 70s, Timberlands were actually considered high fashion. Like people used to actually come from overseas to get Timbs and bring them back with them. So like, especially in Italy, places like that. So yeah, Timbs were high fashion. But in the New York region in the 90s, the workwear movement was really big. Those New York winters are really cold. So, people would wear Carhartt and then they would wear Timberlands. So Biggie was one of those rappers who really brought the brand in style. So to celebrate the debut album that effectively changed hip hop, Northern hip hop, especially in a lot of ways, they partnered together on a dope shoe. Now, if you haven't seen the shoe yet, it is the iconic 6-inch boot, the Timberland shoe that we all know. There are two colorways. There's the wheat colorway and there's a black colorway. Now, specifically on the wheat colorway, if you look at the shoe, on the black upper, you'll see the letters B.I.G on it, of course, for Biggie, or B.I.G, however you refer to him. There's also a really dope lanyard that comes with it. I think that's what those are called that are on the side of the shoe. One of them is the Ready to Die album cover, and the other one is a crown because, of course, we know that Biggie is the king of New York, right? And I think the PR statement mentioned what's on the tongue of the shoe. It's a hyper realistic avatar of that baby photo from the iconic Notorious B.I.G. album, Ready to Die. But with that said, man, digging into the campaign a little bit and how they brought this to market, if you go to Timberland's page on Instagram, you'll see that they shot a teaser video where they effectively sent out, we'll call them influencer boxes to tastemakers in the community. So I think I saw DJ Clark Kent in there, famous producer from the 90s in hip hop. I saw rapper Mano, famous MC, and of course radio host now. And yeah, I mean, there were a couple people in that video, but long story short, they sent them these really cool boxes where at the bottom was the Timberland boot, paying homage to Biggie, but at the top was like a turntable. So DJ turntable, real hip hop vibes. A couple of people got these boxes. They posted about it on social media, which is how I found out about it and how I was able to track back and look at the campaign. So safe to say that the influencer box tactic worked. Social promo videos, they all worked. And of course, various PR and sneaker publications. So yeah, I mean, overall, this campaign is really good, top to bottom, especially from what looks like a social-led campaign more than anything. Not sure how much money they spent on PR, but if this was all earned PR, like chef's kiss, like really stellar shit, bro. Now, this is a quick episode of Beats and Billboards. So as far as what brands can learn from this, couple things, but the main thing that was poking out or really sticking out to me that I feel like brands could learn is to lean into your roots, right? A lot of those brands from the 90s have hip hop roots, but they don't like to acknowledge them. And that's not really just shoe brands, that's liquor brands, other apparel. And if we learn anything from like the Timberlands of the world, the Tommy Hilfigers of the world, it really pays off to embrace hip hop culture, especially if it's doing something for you in terms of these numbers and it's getting people to really engage with your brand. So for brands out there who have roots with the audience that they're not particularly fond of or they don't understand, I would say take time to learn that audience, see what intrinsics they're seeing in your product, see what about your product is connecting with them, and then try to make inroads with that audience. Like if the goal is to make money and they're not doing something, untoward or illegal with your product, see why they engage with your product and then go talk to them. Do more for that audience. Case in point, Timberland realized that their boots were really big with hip hop artists, and they've doubled down ever since, right? They did this Biggie campaign this year, but for Hip Hop 50, they did a campaign. I think it featured Lola Brooke and a couple of other rappers, and they had some custom Timberland boots. They've done something with Nas, I think even a few years before that. So think about the fact that, I covered them on an old edition of SNOBHOP, and I remember the old CMO or marketing person at the time said they couldn't understand why people wore Timberlands, like, or this wasn't the audience they were trying to speak to. But at some point, they abandoned that mindset, say, yo, these guys are really rocking with us. They doubled down, and it's safe to say it made the company a success. Again, same thing with Tommy Hilfiger. They realized rappers were wearing their brand. They decided to tap in with the community, and it sent the brand skyrocketing. So that's the first thing. If you notice people are engaging with your product and it's not the audience that you were hoping for at first, just do a little digging, because maybe the offering you're offering, how it's funny, maybe the thing you're offering doesn't necessarily work for the people that you want it to work for, but it works for this audience that you didn't intend for it to work for. And if the goal at the end of the day is for you to be successful and to make some dope shit happen, yo, talk to them folk, man. Get that money, bro. And adjust your long-term vision if you have to. Don't abandon your morals. But if the vision of this thing is for it to be successful and to make some bread, my guy, you know what I mean? Make it happen. Now, on the other side of that, there is the nostalgia piece of this. Checking the mic, making sure we good, B. Now, there's the nostalgia piece of this. We all love a good nostalgia play. And I appreciate Timberland because a lot of brands abandon hip hop after hip hop 50, because that's what advertisers do. That's what brands do. They find something to latch on to, and then when it doesn't serve their purpose next year, they move away from it. But it's safe to say Timberland is reaping the benefits of this, especially with the social first campaign showing that, hey, we still remember our roots. We still remember the guys who made us popular. And these influencers are going to be more likely to work with them in the future. And when there's any other Biggie related things that pop up, it's safe to say that this will also be included in the conversation. Overall, a really unique cultural insight led to this being successful. I'm not sure what creative agency came up with the campaign, but major props to y'all for doing this. This is one of my favorite things that I've seen this year, honestly and truly, especially on social media. And yeah, man, hey, if y'all got an extra pair of them joints, send them to your boy. You know what I'm saying? It's getting cold outside. But we didn't do this episode for that purposes, so if not, it's all good. But yo, it's going on 10 minutes on the mic. The kid is rambling at this point. This is another episode of Beats and Billboards. I will see y'all next time. Y'all take it easy. Peace.